Hello, and welcome to another peaceful, historical journey through the digital landscapes of our past. Tonight, we will be exploring the infamous world of 2B2T, often described as the most anarchic, chaotic, and unforgiving Minecraft server in existence. As you settle in and relax, allow your mind to drift into this unique digital realm where freedom and lawlessness have created one of the most fascinating social experiments in gaming history. The name 2B2T stands for Two Builders, Two Tools, a simple designation that belies the complex society that would emerge within its boundless virtual world. In December 2010, as Minecraft was still in its beta phase, a server appeared with a singular philosophy that would set it apart from all others. Unlike most multiplayer gaming environments that enforce rules and restrictions, 2B2T was founded on the premise of absolute anarchy, with no administrators actively moderating player behavior and no rules governing interactions. This bold approach to server management created a digital frontier where players could build, destroy, create, and grief without consequence or limitation. The server's owner, known only as Housemaster, maintained a hands-off approach that allowed this digital society to evolve organically, shaped only by the collective actions and decisions of its inhabitants. What makes 2B2T truly remarkable is its unbroken continuity, running on the same map since its inception without ever resetting or starting fresh. This persistence has allowed for over a decade of accumulated history, with layers upon layers of player-created structures, wars, alliances, and cultural movements all preserved in its vast digital landscape. Every block placed or removed represents a moment in the server's complex narrative, creating a living document of player interaction spanning more than 13 years. The map has grown to over 8,000 gigabytes in size, containing millions of structures ranging from magnificent artistic creations to the charred remains of griefed bases. The early years of 2B2T were relatively quiet, populated by a small community of players who had discovered this unusual server through word of mouth or obscure forum posts. These pioneers established the first bases and began exploring the unlimited terrain, leaving their mark on the pristine digital wilderness. During this formative period, the server developed its unique identity, and the foundational elements of its culture began to take shape. The original players, sometimes referred to as ancients by the community, established precedents and traditions that would influence generations of players to come, even as they couldn't have anticipated the massive growth and attention the server would eventually receive. As Minecraft grew in popularity throughout 2011 and 2012, 2B2T gradually attracted more players who were drawn to its lawless environment and the promise of complete freedom. Small groups formed, alliances were established, and the first major bases were constructed far from the spawn point where new players first appeared. These early communities developed distinctive cultures and rivalries, setting the stage for the complex social dynamics that would define the server's future. Meanwhile, the spawn area began its transformation into the hellish landscape it would become known for, as players destroyed the immediate surroundings and created elaborate traps to kill newcomers, establishing the brutal hierarchy that would become a hallmark of 2B2T's social order. The true turning point in 2B2T's history came in June 2016, when popular YouTuber The Camping Rusher released a video showcasing the server to his massive audience. Almost overnight, thousands of new players flooded into the previously obscure community, overwhelming the server and forever changing its dynamics. This sudden influx triggered what became known as the Rusher War, a conflict between the established players who called themselves veterans, and the newcomers, derisively labeled rushers. This conflict would shape the server's development for years to come and introduce 2B2T to the broader gaming consciousness. The Rusher War represented more than just a territorial conflict. It marked a fundamental clash between two visions for the server's future. The veterans, led by controversial figures such as Fit, also known as FitMC, fought to preserve what they saw as the authentic culture of 2B2T against the perceived invasion of younger, less experienced players. Advanced combat techniques, elaborate traps, and strategic base locations became crucial tools in this digital conflict as the established players sought to drive away the newcomers through constant harassment and destruction. Meanwhile, the YAS newer players struggled to establish themselves in this hostile environment, forming their own alliances and attempting to carve out territory in the increasingly crowded server. Individual players also rose to prominence during this period, becoming legendary figures within the 2B2T community. Pop-Bob gained infamy as perhaps the server's most notorious griefer, responsible for destroying countless bases and developing exploits that changed how the game was played. Another player, Housemaster, remained enigmatic as the server owner who rarely intervened but occasionally implemented changes to prevent game-breaking exploits. Additionally, content creators like FitMC played a crucial role in documenting and sometimes dramatizing the server's history, bringing stories from 2B2T to hundreds of thousands of viewers who might never actually join the server themselves, but nevertheless became invested in its ongoing narrative. Throughout 2017 and 2018, a series of technical exploits and duplication glitches fundamentally altered the server's economy and power dynamics. These exploits allowed players to create infinite copies of rare items, leading to widespread access to previously scarce resources and increasingly ambitious building projects. The most significant of these, known as the Cactus Dupe, flooded the server with previously rare items and enabled construction on an unprecedented scale. This period also saw the formation of groups dedicated to exploring the furthest reaches of the map, with some expeditions traveling millions of blocks from spawn in search of untouched territory. These journeys of exploration revealed the truly massive scale of the 2B2T world and led to the discovery and documentation of abandoned bases from earlier eras, preserving the server's archaeological record for future players. What makes 2B2T truly fascinating from a sociological perspective is how it functions as an unintended experiment in human behavior when traditional constraints are removed. Without rules or consequences, the server has developed its own complex social hierarchies, cultural norms, and even economic systems that emerged organically from player interactions. New players typically experience a brutal introduction to the server, often dying repeatedly at spawn before managing to escape into the wilderness. This harsh initiation process serves as both a filter and a formative experience, shaping how players approach the unique challenges of surviving in this digital anarchy. The architectural legacy of 2B2T stands as perhaps its most impressive achievement, with countless hours of human creativity preserved in massive constructions scattered across its endless landscape. The Valley of Wheat, created by a player named Zhang, remains one of the most iconic locations, a massive agricultural project that symbolized creation rather than destruction. In stark contrast, monuments like Wrath Outpost represented the server's destructive tendencies, designed specifically as a staging ground for spawn killing and griefing operations. Perhaps most impressive are the massive bases built by coordinated groups, featuring elaborate redstone mechanisms, pixel art, and architectural styles ranging from medieval castles to futuristic cities, all created in the knowledge that they might be discovered and destroyed at any moment. Particularly fascinating is the emergence of 2B2T's own unique cultural artifacts and historical documentation. Players have created maps, wikis, and extensive archives documenting the server's history, preserving stories that would otherwise be lost as bases are destroyed and players come and go. The community has developed its own distinctive language and memes, inside jokes unintelligible to outsiders, but rich with meaning for those familiar with the server's history. Organizations like the 2B2T Museum have even attempted to preserve important artifacts from the server's past, creating repositories of screenshots, coordinates, and stories that function as a digital archaeological record of this unique virtual civilization. The technological history of 2B2T reveals an ongoing arms race between players seeking advantage and the limitations of the Minecraft platform itself. Custom client modifications, known as hacked clients, became essential tools for serious players, offering capabilities far beyond the standard game. These modified clients enabled automated travel, enhanced combat abilities, and sophisticated griefing tools that shaped how the game was played at its highest levels. Meanwhile, the server itself strained under the technical demands of maintaining such an enormous world with so many players, leading to notorious queue times where players might wait hours just to join, creating yet another hierarchy between those with priority access and those without. Beyond just a Minecraft server, 2B2T has become a cultural touchstone that raises philosophical questions about human nature and digital societies. When freed from conventional rules and monitoring, do people inevitably trend toward chaos and destruction, or can beauty and creativity emerge from this freedom? The evidence from 2B2T suggests both tendencies exist simultaneously, with magnificent constructions rising even as others are reduced to ruins. The server has attracted academic attention from researchers interested in digital anthropology, with some scholars studying it as a case example of emergent social structures in virtual spaces. This academic interest underscores how 2B2T has transcended its origins as a simple gaming server to become a significant digital cultural phenomenon worthy of serious consideration and documentation. The influence of 2B2T extends far beyond its own player base, having inspired numerous copycat servers and permanently altered how many people think about online gaming communities. Other anarchy servers have attempted to recreate its formula, but none have achieved the same longevity or cultural significance. The distinct ethos of 2B2T, with its emphasis on absolute freedom and its rich historical tapestry, has proven difficult to replicate, as much of its appeal comes from the accumulated weight of its genuine history rather than just its rule set. The server has also influenced mainstream Minecraft culture, with some of its building techniques, PvP strategies, and even social dynamics filtering into the broader community. Content creators have played a crucial role in spreading awareness of 2B2T, with YouTube channels dedicated to documenting its history now reaching millions of viewers. FitMC in particular has built a substantial following by narrating the server's most dramatic events in documentary style, bringing these digital stories to audiences who might never actually join the server themselves. This media attention has created a curious dynamic where 2B2T exists simultaneously as both a playable game server and as a form of entertainment content for passive consumption, with many more people familiar with its stories than have ever actually logged in to experience it firsthand. From a technical perspective, 2B2T represents an extraordinary achievement in Minecraft server maintenance, having survived for over a decade without resetting, despite enormous technical challenges. The server frequently pushes against the limitations of what Minecraft's software can handle, requiring custom modifications and constant optimization to remain functional. As the map has grown to over 8,000 gigabytes, maintaining this digital world has become increasingly complex, with the queue system and occasional technical adjustments necessary to keep the server operational. This technical resilience mirrors the social resilience of the community itself, adapting and persisting despite numerous challenges that might have ended lesser servers. In recent years, 2B2T has experienced waves of renewed attention as new generations of players discover its unique environment. Each influx brings fresh perspectives and challenges to the established order, creating cyclical periods of conflict and adaptation that keep the server's culture evolving. Notable events, like the Russia War, have been succeeded by other conflicts and cultural shifts, ensuring that the server never remains static for long. Today, 2B2T continues to operate with thousands of active players, some veterans with years of experience and others just beginning their journey into this digital anarchy, all contributing to the ongoing narrative of this remarkable virtual world. As we conclude our exploration of this fascinating digital realm, we can appreciate 2B2T as more than just a Minecraft server, but as a cultural artifact that reveals something about human nature when traditional constraints are removed. In this boundless digital wilderness, players have created a complex society with its own history, culture, and legends, all emerging organically from countless individual choices made over more than a decade. Whether you see it as a cautionary tale about the darker aspects of human behavior or as an inspiring example of creativity flourishing in freedom, 2B2T stands as one of the most significant and enduring social experiments in gaming history. As you drift towards sleep, consider what such digital spaces tell us about ourselves and the societies we create, both online and in the physical world that awaits you when you wake.